Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, possibly the worst thing the cruise lines could happen with the coronavirus. It might be happening. Right now, a Costa cruise ship in Rome holding 6,000 people on board is not being allowed to let anybody on the ship or off the ship. It is on lockdown because a couple from China has expressed symptoms of the coronavirus. They get on the ship, have been to 3 ports since then, including Barcelona and France, and now the female of the couple, a 54-year-old woman, has showed signs of the coronavirus. She has a fever, she is coughing, and she also has respiratory problems. So she has been quarantined into the hospital area of the cruise ship and is being looked after by 3 doctors, or 4 people from the hospital, doctors and nurses, and they are testing her for the coronavirus. In the meantime, the ship's not allowed to do anything. It's on lockdown. It is being, nobody's allowed to get off the ship to tourists and everything. And a lot of people, of course, on the cruise ship are a little bit freaking out because what happens if this is a case of the coronavirus? What happens if that lady falls so ill that she passes away and now you're on a ship with a confirmed case of the coronavirus? People are afraid of the norovirus and getting sick on a cruise ship. What do you think they're going to do when there's 6,000 people stuck on that cruise ship and not allowed to get off? Next thing is, what do authorities do? Right now, all over the world, Canada, United States, the UK, Jamaica, everybody is trying to get their citizens out of China who are there back home. And when they do, they are being quarantined in certain locales to make sure that the virus doesn't spread to the rest of the country. Wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to bring back 300 people from China into Jamaica and just say, okay, go on home, because that is the worst thing you could possibly do to contain this virus. The virus has grown so exponentially that it is going up about 25 to 30% a day since the first fatality. First fatality on the 22nd was 1 person. On the 29th, it's up to over 170 people. It's just spreading and spreading and spreading, and now it's touched almost 30 countries now worldwide, and it is just not great. But here's the problem. What do you do if there is a confirmed case on a cruise ship? Remember, the cruise lines are all telling us, oh, don't worry, we can go to China, don't worry about it, because we're going to scan you with the heat thing and test your temperature and everything. Don't worry about it. We're also going to ask you a questionnaire. Have you ever been in contact with anyone who has the Wuhan virus? Have you been to Wuhan province? Where have you traveled in the last 30 days? People are just going to lie on a questionnaire. Do you know anybody who's going on a cruise ship and they hand you that health certificate and have you experienced any cold symptoms in the last 7 days? No. Come on, questionnaires do nothing. Questionnaires absolutely do nothing. As far as the heat temperature that's fine if you're already showing symptoms. But the problem is the virus can hibernate and stay with a person for over 14 days before you start showing those symptoms. That's the big problem. So these heat seekers are great to see anybody who's already showing symptoms, but not those who are about to show symptoms. And there are some cruise lines out there. In fact, I had a video all prepared to go today because a couple cruise lines are refusing to offer refunds or change itineraries and are still planning to go to China and saying, we have your best interest at heart, don't worry about it, we're monitoring things, but we want our money, and we're not going to give you your money back or allow you to do other cruises, to take another cruise, because then we'd have to send our ships with less people on them and we wouldn't make as much money. So yeah, we have your best interest at heart though. Don't worry about it, you're safe. What happens now? How can those cruise lines say you're safe now if somebody on board a cruise ship comes down with it? What happens if they have to lock down that ship for 14 to 20 days? What happens if they're not allowed to go to a port anymore? Well, I mean, if you have confirmed case on there, are you going to just let those 6,000 people off the ship at the next port to go home? No, you can't. There's a reason you can't, because now it's a thing. How that person was on board this ship for 4 days. How, let's just hope that this is just a flu and not the coronavirus, because that could be devastating. And all those people on board, 6,000 people, including passengers and crew. It's not only passengers that are upset with these cruise lines that don't want to offer refunds or don't want to change itineraries. The crew are, well, I guess the company cares more about money than my health or my life, if they're willing to send us there with, oh, but don't worry, we just won't let you off the ship as a crew member. Great, but you're going to let off all the passengers, and they're going to come back on, and then we're going to service them, and we're going to do their laundry, we're going to give them food, we're going to clean their staterooms, and you see where I'm getting at. So yeah, there are a couple cruise lines out there. One of them is Celebrity Cruise Line, is not changing their Millennium itinerary. The Holland America cruise, they were, supposed to end in Shanghai, and then they said, oh, don't worry, okay, it's fine, it's safe, don't worry about it, we're good, hey, we're good, guys, we're good. You know what? We just got a letter from, the International Health Board, and they said, yeah, maybe you shouldn't go. So we're going to get our ship, and we're going to not get off in Shanghai anymore. We're going to get off in Japan next. Okay, all right. What happens if I have my hotel booked in Shanghai? What happens if I have flights booked in Shanghai? Are you going to pay for new flights for me and everything? Well, if you booked with us, we will. What if I didn't book with you? Well, we have your best interest at heart. But give us your money. That's where we are. And I understand, I'm always one of those people who look at both sides of the view. I can perfectly see cruise lines, not wanting to have to give refunds and all this back to, that's hundreds of millions of dollars in income that keep those ships running and keep everybody employed. So yeah, it's not an easy decision to do that. But right now, if airlines are, like British Airlines has canceled all flights going to China for a month. Not just a couple days until further notice, for at least 30 days, at least a month, until the signs that this virus is on the downturn. And right now, it's just climbing. And so I can see that. Egypt Air has done the same thing. Lots of airlines are doing this because it makes sense. Even the people who are being flown home to their countries, who are in China, for instance, the people who are going to be leaving for the UK, all the people servicing them and getting them on the ships and are all going to be wearing protective clothing and masks, and they are going to be like sterilized hospital, as if you're an infected person. So here we have 6,000 people on a cruise ship off the coast of Italy on lockdown. We don't know yet if it's a confirmed case or not. The question is, what do they do if it's a confirmed case. You can't just let them off the ship. You cannot just let them off the ship at the end of the cruise. So are you going to be locked into a port now and have to stay there for supplies? Are the ports going to want you there? There are ports that are saying they don't want any cruise ships that have any passengers from China right now. And right now, you kind of can't blame them right now until this thing is being looked after, right? Until this is under control. Until we see a sign that things are going to be okay and cut down, and there isn't going, the death toll stops and the people start going down, and the sickness and the trending, how many people are infected, starts going down. Until that happens, people don't want to be near people who might have been in contact with this virus. And I will keep you informed. In the meantime, right now, as of now, tomorrow I have a video coming up on the cruise lines that are still not offering refunds, still not changing itineraries, and maybe this might change their mind. If they do, I'll update that video. But in the meantime, 6,000 people stuck on a ship, can't get off, and it could get much, much worse in the next few days. Hopefully, it just turns out to be a flu and that person is fine. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, passengers gets extremely sick, passes away. What do you do with those 6,000 people? Let me know what you guys think down below. I'll monitor this more, and if any more information comes out, I'll put out another video. Well, I hope you appreciate this update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.